state your name.
I'm James Mason.
I'm Barbara Mason.
How long have you been married?
Right at about 30, what? Going on 30?
34.
No, it's 35.
Okay.
35.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all in agreement?
Yes, we're in agreement. 35 is the number.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
But we've actually been together for about 40 years.
Oh,
That's why we don't know the number.
That's exactly. We've been together for 40 years.
wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
You telling me?
What is it that you still like?
Oh, that I love about my spouse. She's always changing, to be honest with you. That's something that I became aware of early in our relationship, that she's not just a one-trick pony, you know what I'm saying? And I do. I like that. I like that spontaneity, you know what I'm saying, because we would just get up and do things, you know, not asking anybody for permission. We take off when we want to, and we still do that somewhat. But of course, with family now, it's a little bit different, but that's who we are.
Okay. And Barbara?
Well, what I liked about him and loved from day one was the stability of him. You know, as a young lady, you look for a solid rock, something that's, you know, not all over the place. He was solid. If he said, he held to his word, and throughout the years, he's just been consistent with that. And that and maturity turns into a very sexy vibe as you get older. You're like, okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
You ain't gonna stop because I'm talking.
What is your favorite memory of your spouse?
My favorite memory, okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
my favorite memory of him really isn't just him by himself, it was us together. When we met, I knew that I was infertile, and they told us we wouldn't have any children. So the big moment for me, and he was just undying faith. He's like, you know, we're gonna have kids. I'm sure God has in the cards for kids. I gave up on that dream. I just kind of moved on. So when I went in and scanned myself, and I found out that I was pregnant, and it was late at night, and he came over, and we cried and hugged and prayed together, and it was just like the start of everything. Our legacy was starting then. So for me, that was one of my favorite moments outside of, you know, the marriage and, you know, all the other stuff, but that was like the big one, you know.
Wow.
For me, it was actually seeing my daughter. I was there with not our doctor that we had, but he took a vacation that week. But just seeing my daughter being born, you know, and coming from a person that I truly, truly love. And like she said, we thought that we might not have kids, but you know, I'm going like, no, we'll have children, you know, and that's the way it's been. That's the way it's been.
Very nice. Did you learn anything new about one another when you were working on the collaborative art piece?
We banter back and forth about, you know, images and stuff all the time. With her, she has her way of doing things. I have my way of doing things, and I accept that. You know, and we'll still argue about little things. And when I say argue, it's not. It can turn into an argument at some point in time. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that it doesn't. But she's headstrong, and so am I. You know, if you give me a task, let me do my task. That's who I am. I don't need any corrections. I don't need you to come and check. I don't want to hear that this is a little off plumb or that is a little different. You know what I'm saying? Just let me do it. And you know, and if I need your help, I'll call you and tell you, hey, come take a look at this. Is this the way you like it, or whatever the situation is? So that's where we have our differences sometimes.
Okay. Barbara?
Okay, so yeah, I agree with all that. Put it out there. We're two alphas, you know, and he's a visionary, and I'm the alpha part that if I see it, I'm executing. I'm going to see it through. Sometimes he'll just see it and then just go on to the next thing. And we got to go on, let's get it done and check that off. So I didn't really learn anything new about James. It just, I would say, confirmation of things. Oftentimes you need tasks, and unfortunately, difficult things to bring up what you love about your spouse. And so here I am, this Tasmanian devil all over the place. We got this deadline, we got this deadline, I got this and that on my calendar. If you're gonna work with me, I gotta fit you in here and all this. And I'm telling him all this, got the chalkboard, got the lines. And he's like, okay, Barb. And that is the calming spirit of him. And then he would go wash the car, do whatever he had to do, come on back. I'm still running around, picking out colors and everything. Then he'd jump in, I like this and that, and then he'd go calmly off. And when finally, he knows that when I get tired and worn out, it's kind of like a kid. When I get tired of spinning around and juggling everything, so I sit down and like, well, what'd you come up with? And then we do the discussion, and the creativity begins. Absolutely. And you wouldn't think, after all this time, 47 years, it's the same cycle repeating. But sometimes you need episodes like that to bring up, like, Barb, you ain't gonna get nowhere with him, trying to pin him down or make him just let his free spirit be free. So it was a confirmation of the things that I knew about him. So.
And she's always that way. And just like she says, I just go at my own pace. I really
and that's
do.
what really balances us. I'm the high energy, and he is the calm, steady. And when they say opposites attract, that's exactly what I needed, because every relationship before that, I ran them off. I think I just ran them off with the crazy, because they ain't here. So I think I just,
I wasn't leaving.
And I was just crazy and all of the same. But when he came in, he's like, "Well, I'll get back with you." And then he'd come back in, and then in the right moment, and it seemed like he would just keep me balanced. So yeah. So it was just confirmation. It wasn't anything new, which is great, because sometimes you find out new things and you're like, "Oh, I don't like that. I didn't know that was there." But everything that I learned or found out about him during this process was the things I always knew and trusted and loved. They just resurfaced again, and to be able to pay attention to.
And this has become somewhat like if we know something is happening, I sit in my own mind the time frame. Even though she's telling me, I know, and I'll say, okay, what is the exact date? And that's me.
He's coast to that date.
I will.
That's why he
I'll
needs to know
coast.
the end
Just
date.
tell me what the exact date is. Because I'm not gonna stress out about it all week long. I'm not gonna do it. That's for real.
Stressing the whole.
And I know what I can do. You know what I'm saying, and all like that. So it for her, it's probably more stressful in that, right? Because James, I'm going like, it's okay, baby, we'll get it done. It's gonna be all right.
And then once we actually put paint to canvas, the flow and that's the pressure. And I knew that would be the good part, but just trying to reel him in to get to. He's like, I ain't not yet. I'm not ready.
Because I have things that I do. Her schedule is made
up.
She's
going by BMW.
Now, I'm going to tell you, this is a multitasker here. It really is. Barb will be working on 3 and 4 things at a time. You know what I'm saying? And when she says she has a calendar, she does. And so she'll fit me in somewhere. I said, well, and it doesn't matter, because I let her do her thing and I do mine, and then we'll come together, and it's like, okay, we got this to do, and so let's get it done.
But the beauty is when that synergism finally comes together.
That's
and
true.
It just flows, and it's like butter.
Yeah.
And then it's just like night and day. It's like, who was that other couple
Absolutely.
2 days ago? And it was crazy. So.
I love the word that you use, confirmation. So he's the yin to your yang and vice versa.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, at this point, ain't nobody leaving, ain't nobody going nowhere. We just, we in this.
That's for real.
We all like in this.
Because I can't get my money back now. So I'm staying.
Everything's expired. You in this.
Well, that's all right.
That's for real.